So as well as boundaries, I also want to talk about the space between you. In every and all relationships, there are three things: you, your partner, and the space between. This is the energetic field where your relationship lies. When the relationship is healthy, the energy flows smoothly between the two of you. But if there's pain, hurt, or misunderstandings, the energy field becomes disrupted and you become separate and hostile to each other. How are you able to manage this field, which is the same as the gravitational field between the moon and the earth, the sun and the earth, and other planets, with a pull and push energy, determines how your relationship unfolds. I'll say that again because it's really important. The quality and health of your relationship depends on how you manage the space between you. But it is also the space between you that you can become aware of the growing distance. Where previously you might have felt warm and connected and laughed a lot, these days there may be a sense of distance and coldness in that space. It doesn't have the lightness and joy that it once had. This is where couples often come to see me, where they say they still love each other and they want the relationship to work, but they've lost that loving feeling and instead feel their partner is distant from them. It's scary, and they often respond with anger. An uncomfortable distance is often created in the space between you by one of you withholding something, and often it is the communication. It is a growing inability to talk and listen in the way that you used to. Once the communication is restarted, the withholding stops, the upset is released, and the distance disappears. That's why having a structured way to dialogue is so helpful and healing. Look at your partner and ask them for a conversation about whatever is bugging you. Your partner should mirror you so you feel heard, and then summarize the essence of what they've heard in their own words. Then they tell you what makes sense to them, and they validate you, which shows they empathize with how they imagine you've been feeling. Then you swap so the other can say what came up for them while you were speaking, or respond to you about what you said. As you do this, the space between you will feel safer and the connection between you will feel stronger again. Give each other an appreciation, compliment them on how you felt when they saw that, and mirror each other. If you only take one thing away from this course, I hope it's the mirroring, the single best gift that you can give yourself and your partner. Next, we're going to talk about differentiation. Part of coming to understand the space between you is recognizing that your partner is a different person from you. As you get to know one another, you might start to think, oh, this person is so different from me. They're so loud, or so quiet, or so spontaneous, or so inactive, or passive, or so forceful. But you can learn to be really compatible, even if you are different, by becoming aware of the space between you that at the same time holds your attraction to each other and your separation. Couples who are undifferentiated and are too interdependent and do not allow each other to be private or have differences are essentially unhealthy and dull. There's no conflict, and after the romantic stage, disillusionment sets in. Unhealthy couples can be two isolated little circles, spinning around near each other but not engaging with each other like cogs in the wheel. The energy goes out of the relationship if their differences are not recognized as healthy and conflict is normal. Once you understand that it's supposed to be like this, and incompatibility is the grounds for marriage, you will have learned a valuable lesson. Every couple can feel different, but your challenge is to get curious about your partner and learn all about them, and hopefully they will get curious about you too, and what makes you the perfect partner for them. And last but not least, let's discuss exits. An exit is when we do something that interferes with the connection between us. We've all experienced exits, although when we are in an unconscious relationship, we don't necessarily know why we're using them. There are several types of exit. The first type is intentional. It's designed to avoid intimacy, such as using a device or reading a newspaper at the table at every meal. The second sort of exit is functional. This is not intentional, but something that must be done, such as going to work or feeding the baby, but the partner experiences it as something that pulls them apart, something that pulls the energy that belongs to the relationship out of the relationship. The motivation determines whether an exit is functional or intentional. The third type is de-energizing. This exit drains energy away from the relationship, such as television, devices, the internet, sports, friends, when they're used to avoid spending time together. And the fourth sort of exit is catastrophic. These examples are affairs, addictions, contempt, or stonewalling. If this exit is left open, it will lead to the end of the relationship. And fifth, there's the terminal exits. These exits put an end to the relationship, such as divorce, death, or suicide. The main reason why couples avoid intimacy by using exits is because they feel hurt, which can be caused by one of three reasons. 1, they may feel anger. Now, couples feel anger at the loss of romantic love. They feel angry with the other person when they lose their romantic love, when they realize they're slipping into a power struggle or the conflict stage. They experience their partner as withholding and not meeting their needs. The second is fear. In romantic love, the partner is seen as the source of needs gratification. When the relationship reaches the power struggle stage, the partner can be seen as a source of pain rather than pleasure. Fear arises from the idea that their needs will never be met in this relationship. Thirdly, there's a sense of helplessness. Partners exit when they feel helpless in the connection. This arises when they perhaps have closeness and they fear losing it. They feel something they were not allowed to feel in childhood. They have feelings of being trapped. It pushes their partner away. They're tempted to be vulnerable but unsure whether they are safe. They are testing. And they see each other's pain but cannot fix it. They feel incompetent. They want to say yes or no, but neither was allowed to do that in childhood. They have been close in childhood, but in childhood that was followed by pain. Once exits are established as normal and safe, couples can collude to keep a set distance apart in the dance of intimacy. This is very unhealthy. In the power struggle or conflict phase, couples can experience their partner as a source of pain, and the exit can become a source of pleasure. Couples are often resistant to closing exits because they no longer see their partner as their source of pleasure. They do not believe their needs will be met by this partner. They often have a frozen idea of each other and of what's possible in the relationship. So what can you do to close exits? To close an exit, both partners need to be able to express their feelings and fears safely and to be able to listen to the other's world with openness, curiosity, and empathy. Small steps maintained over time are more effective than big changes that cannot be sustained. So perhaps agreeing that devices are not used at meal times or television is only on for a limited time, then you can talk to each other. Tell each other what went on in your day and what you felt about stuff. Couples need to be compassionate for the exits of their partner, who is not being malicious in exiting, but is trying to ensure their own safety and happiness. They are unconsciously trying to get their needs met and create safety. They are trying to make up for the pain and emptiness in the relationship by filling their lives with substitute pleasure. Closing exits is a process, not an event. It's done gradually, as both partners need to feel safe with the slow changes they will see in the relationship.